Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am because COD Mobile just dropped the newest update, as you can probably tell by looking at my screen right now. This update actually includes a ton of stuff. They dropped the map Meltdown finally, which I absolutely love this map. I used to play competitive Black Ops 2 on it, so I know all the spots, I know how to push, and I'll probably be making a video on that in the future. They also released a ton of weapon nerfs and buffs, which later on I'm actually going to tell you if the weapons that actually got hit are still going to be meta or not. I know the Msmc and the Type and the S36 all got a huge nerf, so we're going to be testing them to see if they're still good. So the first thing that we're actually going to be taking a look at is how the weapons turned out after each buff or nerf. So we actually have a chart here with non-meta and meta columns, and what I'm going to do is actually take a look at each weapon, and I'm going to determine if after the nerf or buff what column that they should go into, if they're still considered non-meta or if now they're considered meta. So the first weapon that we're actually going to be taking a look at is the Msmc. What they actually did to it in this most recent update was they decreased its damage at close range, and they also increased its recoil. The main thing the gun had going for it was, of course, its damage at close range. It absolutely shredded. We're gonna actually test it in game now, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it right after. Okay, so this is actually my first game on Meltdown. Honestly, so far the recoil feels around the same as it was before, which is weird. Feels very similar to what it was. Maybe that's just me.
Reloading. Cover me.
Damage, you can tell, is a little bit less than usual. It feels like it takes one or two more bullets. I'll show you, but I do have to say this map looks very similar to Meltdown. I don't really think they made any changes, which is exactly what I wanted. It looks really solid. Not really noticing the recoil at all. Damage does feel like there's a little bit less, but I don't know if that's really enough to make this a non-meta weapon anymore. I think it's still pretty solid.
Changing mag.
Alright, we're gonna get a few more kills with it, but so far I still think this is gonna be considered a meta weapon just because its damage is still higher than pretty much any other SMG at close range. So I think that's the only reason, and its recoil is not that bad, honestly. I don't really know the difference. I think it's still the same recoil as last update. It's not going to shred as fast close range, which is exactly what we wanted, because before it felt like you could die in almost one shot. It still kills very fast, as you can see right there, but I think they reduced it to the point where you might be able to beat it with some other weapons at close range, which is exactly what I think we all wanted. We didn't want the gun to be completely gone, but we wanted it to be hit a little bit. So I think I'm still going to place the Msmc into the meta column just because the nerfs honestly weren't that bad. It's still usable, and it's still one of the fastest killing SMGs at close range. Now, of course, the GKS is coming out soon, and I heard that has a lot of recoil, and when a gun usually has a lot of recoil, it also has a ton of damage, so that might be a competitor for the Msmc. We'll actually have to see about it. The next gun that we're actually going to be looking at is the Type 25. It received a very small nerf in this most recent update. They reduced its damage at close range, which makes sense because sometimes you could even beat the RUS and other SMGs at close range with the Type, so I 100% agree with this nerf. I don't think it's honestly going to change the weapon that much, but we're just going to test it out and see. So far, okay, here we go. Felt the same. I didn't feel any difference. Damage still feels really solid. To be completely honest with you guys, I don't really notice a change on this weapon either. And there probably, of course, there is a small change, but like I said, I didn't think it would really be noticeable. Yeah, honestly, I mean, that was long range, but it just, everything felt the same. Maybe there was a bullet or two difference at close range, but it definitely wasn't noticeable to kill the weapon. This is definitely going to be placed in the meta column too. Honestly, the nerfs so far have just been very minimal, which I'm happy with. I don't think they should completely change the meta. All right, so now we're actually going to be taking a look at the S36, which I'm very happy, very happy that it received a nerf. So what they're actually doing to it was they increased its recoil, which I don't know, we're gonna have to test it at a longer range because this is about the range that you're gonna be taking fights. Oh, that's a lot of recoil. I don't actually have foregrip on it because I heard that doesn't affect it, but it does seem to have a lot of recoil, especially after those first couple shots. It just makes like a big arcing pattern, as you can see right there. It just goes up wildly. So they definitely did increase the recoil, which is awesome. And they also increased the fire speed after sprinting on the LMGs. so I guess you can't play like it's an SMG like you used to be able to, which is awesome. That's what I like to see. So we're actually gonna go out and get a couple kills here. Of course, they didn't reduce its damage or anything, so it's still gonna melt as usual, but it's just gonna be harder for you to be more mobile and play less. You have to play less aggressive. I mean, who even plays aggressive with the S36 in the first place, to be honest? But it's definitely still shredding. Like that. That was like 3 shots of range. Look at that recoil. There we go. That's what I like to see. I'm getting happy because the gun's bad. It's not bad, of course, but it has tons of recoil. I never use it, so I don't really know how to control it in the first place. But it's not a laser beam anymore. That's for sure. It's still good at close range. For sure. But the recoil is definitely gonna stop you from being lasered across the map, which was one of my biggest. That really triggered me when I was just going on a big streak, and then out of nowhere an S36 sitting in a corner across the map with a silencer just lasered me. That was the worst, but luckily it doesn't seem like that's gonna be happening anymore. I don't think this is gonna be a meta weapon anymore. I think this is the first one that I'm honestly gonna place in the other column. This is gonna be a non-meta weapon now. Went from a meta to one of the best weapons in the game to non-meta. I just think that it's gonna get killed in the new meta, because the new meta seems to be very assault rifle focused. So that's what I'm really excited to see. Anyways, we're actually gonna hop into the next weapon now. Okay, so for the weapon that everyone has probably been waiting for, we have the ASM-10 here. So what they actually did to this was they increased its stability when you're shooting. So that means you're just gonna be more accurate, and they also increased its damage at range. So pretty much that just means it's going to do more damage, except maybe not at close range. So that means medium and long range it's just going to shred, which is honestly great because it is an assault rifle, and that's all you're going to really be taking your fights at. So if I can find anyone here, I'll actually show you how fast it actually kills now. I watched some videos before the update came out on it, but I don't know if they're still accurate. Okay. Okay. So far it's 3-shotting, which is what I like to see. Oh, no way. No way, guys. Is it actually 3-shotting? That's crazy. I mean, I shot him in the leg like twice, so that's why I'm pretty sure that took 4 bullets. But if this thing kills consistently in 3 bullets, it's gonna be the new meta. Oh my god. Oh no. What have they done? They created a monster. Oh my. I love it. I love it. It's super accurate. It does a ton of damage. This is awesome. There's a new meta. Guys, I'm going to place this right away in the meta category because it feels really solid so far. We're going to get a couple more kills with it just because I love the way it feels. And I want to play with it a little bit more. I think I'll make a video specifically on this weapon with a class for you guys to use tomorrow. So watch out for that. Oh no, that was like 3 shots at that range. This guy's just killing everybody. Oh my god. Has a really solid clip size too. I just shredded pretty much all of those guys. Alright, so we're actually going to move on to the next weapon now, but I definitely would say that this is a meta weapon. Alright guys, so the next 2 weapons we're going to be testing out is the AK-47 and the BK-47. So for the AK-47, what they did was actually reduce its recoil or increase its stability at range, which is pretty much the same thing. So it should be a lot more accurate than it normally is. Should be hopefully a laser beam, so we're going to test it right now. It feels really stable compared to usual, as you can see right there. And it still melts, of course. Okay. Yeah, I'm not noticing much recoil. That's really good. Feels really good. This, of course, is a bot lobby, so, and you guys got to remember that all these opinions, everything I'm saying is this is early on that you're seeing the gameplay before anything's been extensively tested, of course. But right now, this is feeling like it's a meta weapon because it still has the same amount of damage, it's just more accurate. And I am shredding with it. I honestly think that this is going to be one of the best new assault rifles. I can't confirm that. I just think it is because of the fact that they nerfed this at 25. but I'm gonna put this in the meta category. I might be wrong. I'm not 100% positive, but the fact that its recoil was reduced as much and I can actually beam people from this range is really good. Now onto the BK, and what they did was they increased its damage at range, so I don't know how much they did it by because they never tell us exactly, but I'm gonna test it out now and see if it does any more damage. And I'm not sure, they say by range, but honestly it just feels like any range they increase it by.
Reloading.
I haven't used the BK in a while. I don't know. I don't think they increased it enough. They were gonna make it a meta weapon. Because, I mean, maybe I'm spoiled because I was just using the ASM-10 and the AK-47, but I honestly don't think it does enough damage to break into the meta. Nah, it's still, I mean, it's still a really solid assault rifle, but I just think it's taking too many bullets. I think the AK-47, the Type 25 are still gonna be probably a better option than this gun. Yeah. Alright guys, yeah, my final thought is that this weapon is still gonna remain a non-meta weapon, but it is still a really good choice for an AR if you want to play the range game and play medium and long distances. I think it's pretty solid, but overall I don't think it's gonna be a meta weapon in this update. Okay guys, so this is my final list of what I believe is going to be meta and non-meta in the upcoming future after these buffs and nerfs. Of course, none of this has been tested in the competitive scene yet. I've only played it in public matches and just kind of noticed how the weapons have changed. I believe that this is a pretty solid list. I think this is going to be the new meta and non-meta. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Of course, I'm going to have a ton of new videos on each of these weapons and the meltdown map, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Other than that, if you haven't already, of course, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys later.